Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Let's take a look at blood sugar. Blood sugar is 9.9. It's being pretty well steady on the incline since about 9, just after breakfast. We haven't gone into double digits yet. It's just below the normal point. Calibration, we're halfway through the calibration, so that will hit lunchtime perfectly. Kind of slept in a bit today. It's a little bit later than I normally do the first video of the day. Okay, current blood sugars. It's a celebration. 93% time in range. Yesterday I had 7% above, 93% in range, and below was 8. So it's all pretty well within reason. Especially this, I like this number. Now, yesterday, if we go back and we take a look at the number, last night I dropped around 9 to 4.4. And I was sort of dragging a bit. I don't know if that was because of diabetes or I was just tired, because around 7:30, 7 o'clock, maybe around 7:30, I was out of it, in a good way. I fell asleep and we slept, and it was all good. So, what are we talking about today? Today I want to do a talk on my day off. What do I do on my days off from diabetes? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. My days off, I do absolutely nothing. Because I don't have days off. You don't have days off. Every day we still have to give insulin. We go to an adventure park. We are still going to have to do the blood sugars. We're still going to have to watch what we eat. We're going to still have to take insulin. So there's no sort of quick fix. You can't go on a pump for just 2 weeks and then go back to your regular insulin, because first of all, it's not done that way. Second of all, this little machine, once you're on it, you're gonna like it so much that you're gonna stay with it. So saying, oh yes, I'm going to have time off, doesn't really work. But we have to be positive and keep thinking. Keeping your blood sugars up is something that is easy to do if you just don't take your insulin. And I'm not condoning that one bit. It is important that you take your insulin. If you're having too many lows, you may decide to go up on the amount of carbs you eat, take less insulin. It all depends. Now, days off, things like Christmas, your birthday. But a lot of times, I won't have an issue with my days off. It seems that my days off fall on special days, like I said before. But taking a look back, is your day isn't too bad. Your blood sugars aren't too bad. It's almost like your body's saying, hey, I'm going to have an okay day. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But for me, things have worked out. It takes some planning for special days to work out. First of all, if you have little kids with diabetes, and I'll be right back. I'm going to sneeze. Stop sneezing. Now we're calibrating. I did a blood sugar. This machine, before I did it, you can barely see it. It was 9.7. I came out at 10.9 on a finger poke. So now we're calibrating, so the readings will be simpatico, we hope. Anyway, before any special day, I make it a point to try to be as normal as possible. Well, don't you do that every day? Yes, but not every diabetics do. I just spend time on making sure my blood sugars are just as good. Now that I'm 10.9, I'll keep an eye on it. If I go up anymore, I might give a slight correction injection to bring it down into a normal range. But if you want to do that, check it with your doctor and don't go wild. Just give the correction that you and your doctor have agreed on. And that is a piece of hair or something. Now, it's important that you do this regularly. You want to keep tight control. This isn't the day to sort of forget about insulin. And I know for Christmas there was an awful lot going out for lunches with the office and special lunches at churches. And there's always going to be food around. But if you keep tight control on the amount of carbs you eat, you shouldn't be that bad off. Now, I'm not saying restrict your diet. That never is going to work. For years, they tried to have diabetics restrict. Oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. And even before, the best way to watch a diabetic is to make sure they don't eat. And diabetics would lose weight because of urine. We're talking before the 1920s. They would just pee out so much urine. They would just want to eat. And there's a scene in a movie about Banting and Best where a girl is eating a piece of roast beef because she was so hungry. And the diabetes was just taking her for a loop. restrictions don't work. No diabetic is going to follow their diet so precisely, and especially on special days. But as soon as you can, get your blood sugars into reasonably normal rates. Your insulin, your correction, make sure they're all set. So that on the day, if you have a little extra, count the carbs, give your injections, and your day you can enjoy with family and friends. But there's not going to be a day that you can't go without testing, without checking blood sugars, without doing all the normal things. You need to be aware and be alert. But don't be, I can't, I have to check my blood sugars. You can check your blood sugars now very quickly, whether it be this or with a glucometer. It doesn't have to be a big thing. When I was first diagnosed, if we went out to dinner, I'd have to excuse myself and make sure you did a first void, then a second void, and everyone knew what you were doing. So now, there's so many other tools. But I'll say this once again. Before you can start using all these tools, you have to know how to give yourself a shot. And you've got to live with doing finger pokes, taking insulin for at least a month before you start. And I think most doctors would agree. Before moving up, you would always check that you have a strong understanding of the basics. So days off aren't going to happen. You're still going to have diabetes. You can have days off from work, days off from school, take a holiday, and you won't have to worry about anything. It's not going to be that way with diabetes. And we're going to have to live with it, but you can make life easier for those days where you're going to go out camping, you're going to go out with your family or friends, and don't make diabetes something you have to sit there worrying about every 5 minutes, every 6 minutes. Okay, joking. But now that we have numbers showing up on our screens, on our watches, it's so easy, 5 seconds to do a blood test. You're able to do a blood test and get it over with. That you still have to do these things, but you can do it, and you can enjoy the time with your family and friends. And with that, have a great day, and we'll talk again later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.